Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the world of small garden design.
Ooh, this should be fun.
Yeah, it's amazing how even the tiniest outdoor spaces can be transformed into amazing green havens.
For sure.
We got some really exciting source material to work with, all about the hottest trends for 2025.
Oh, cool.
And I'm telling you, it's packed with innovative ideas. We're talking rooftop gardens,
I love those.
micro patios, and even, get this, edible walls.
Wow, that's maximizing every square inch,
Exactly. It's all about making the most of what you've got.
which, let's face it, is more and more relevant these days.
Absolutely.
What I find fascinating is how these trends reflect a bigger picture.
Okay, I'm listening.
It's this shift towards sustainability and having spaces that serve more than one purpose.
Multifunctional, right?
Yeah, and it's like this deep desire to connect with nature even when you're smack dab in the middle of a city.
Makes total sense.
Oh,
So let's break down some of these trends, shall we?
let's do.
Our source material highlights space-saving strategies as like the dominant trend.
Definitely seeing that everywhere.
And one of the key concepts that keeps popping up is the rise of multi-use spaces.
Ah, yes. Instead of having one little area dedicated to just one thing, designers are getting so creative.
I'm intrigued. Give me an example.
Okay, picture this. You have a small courtyard.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
In the morning, it's your yoga studio bathed in sunlight.
Sounds lovely.
Then, as the day goes on, you do some clever rearranging,
Okay.
maybe with some foldable furniture.
Smart.
And by evening, poof, it's transformed into this magical alfresco dining area.
Ooh, I love that.
Right. It's so versatile. That garden becomes a valuable extension of your living space.
You're making me want to redesign my whole patio right now.
Do it. And while we're on the topic of maximizing space, we got to talk about vertical gardens.
They're definitely having a moment.
Absolutely. Living walls, as they're also known, are just incredibly versatile.
I'm also impressed by them.
You can add greenery without taking up any of that precious ground space.
Which is so key in a small garden.
And you can even create privacy screens with them, you know?
That's a great idea. I hadn't thought of that.
We're seeing a lot of these modular living wall systems too.
Oh, tell me more about those.
You can basically mix and match different plants, succulents, even edible herbs.
So cool.
Imagine a wall just bursting with flavor. Fresh basil, rosemary, all right there at your fingertips.
Now that's what I call garden-to-table living.
The ultimate, right?
But it's not just about aesthetics and functionality, though.
Right.
Our source emphasizes this huge focus on sustainability and low-maintenance gardens for 2025.
Yeah, people want those beautiful gardens, but they also want them to be eco-conscious and easy to care for.
Makes sense to me.
It totally does when you think about the bigger picture.
How so?
Well, we're all becoming way more aware of our environmental impact.
For sure.
So naturally, we want our gardens to reflect those values.
I like that.
It's about walking the walk, not just talking the talk. It's so true. So how are designers actually achieving that sustainable vibe?
Ooh, lots of interesting ways. One big trend is using native drought-tolerant plants.
I've heard a lot about those.
These plants are already adapted to the local climate, so they need less water.
Okay, that makes sense.
Plus, they attract all those beneficial pollinators like bees and butterflies.
Good for the ecosystem.
Exactly. It's all about creating a thriving little ecosystem in your garden, all while conserving water.
It's like a little wildlife sanctuary right in your backyard.
Love that. And it's not just about the plants themselves.
Oh, what else?
Designers are really into using recycled and upcycled materials.
Oh, like what?
Well, reclaimed wood, for example.
Oh, cool.
You can use it for furniture, raised beds, even just decorative elements.
I love that.
It adds this unique rustic charm, and it reduces the demand for new lumber.
Such a good point.
Plus, it's like giving those materials a whole new life.
I love that. A little touch of history in your garden.
I know, right?
Okay, what about water conservation? Oh, huge topic. Water-wise techniques are key for a truly sustainable garden.
Absolutely.
We're seeing a big rise in the use of smart irrigation systems.
Those sound fancy. How do they work?
They're actually pretty amazing. They use sensors to monitor the moisture levels in the soil.
Well,
And then they adjust watering schedules accordingly.
no more guesswork.
Exactly. It minimizes water waste and ensures your plants get exactly what they need, no more, no less.
That's brilliant. Are there different types of smart irrigation systems?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like what?
You've got drip irrigation, where water is delivered super slowly right to the roots.
Smart.
And then there's sprinkler systems that can be programmed to water specific areas at specific times.
I can see how that would be helpful.
Some systems even use weather data so they can adjust watering based on rainfall prediction.
That's next level.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
It seems like technology is really changing the way we garden these days.
Big time.
And it's not just about making things easier for us.
It's about making more responsible choices for the environment.
Exactly.
Okay, this next trend is one I'm really curious about. Multifunctional outdoor rooms.
Yes.
Our source specifically talks about micro patios.
Adorable. So basically, it's all about transforming even the smallest outdoor areas.
Okay.
Think balconies, rooftops, even small courtyards.
Right.
You create a defined outdoor living space, even if it's just a few square feet.
I love that.
It's making the absolute most of every little inch.
So how do you make a micro patio both functional and inviting? What are the key design elements?
Well, you want to think about compact seating arrangements.
Like what?
A cozy bistro set, maybe?
Cute.
Or some built-in seating that doubles as storage.
Ooh, that's clever.
Foldable furniture is another great option.
Gotta love foldable furniture.
Just a small space lifesaver. And retractable awnings.
Oh, good idea.
They provide shade and create a nice, cozy, enclosed feeling.
Love it. The source also mentions built-in storage as being super important.
Oh, absolutely.
In such a small space, I can see why.
You don't want any clutter in your micro patio.
For sure. So what are some clever storage ideas?
Well, you can have benches with hidden compartments, wall-mounted shelves, or even vertical planters with built-in storage for all your gardening tools.
Ooh, I like that.
It's all about those multifunctional pieces.
Speaking of multifunctional, we're also seeing this rise in edible landscaping.
Yes, one of my favorite trends.
It's amazing. People want to grow their own food.
It's such a great way to connect with where your food comes from.
Exactly. Even if they only have a teeny tiny balcony.
It's totally possible.
So how are they doing it in such small spaces?
It's all about creativity. Raised beds are popular, good drainage, easy to tend to.
Makes sense.
Containers are super versatile too. You can grow herbs, veggies, even dwarf fruit trees in them.
No way. Dwarf fruit trees. I need one of those.
And then, of course, there are vertical planters, perfect for things like strawberries and leafy greens.
Wow, the possibilities are endless. I love that you can step outside and just pick fresh herbs or veggies for dinner.
I had to dream.
Now, our source also mentions that small gardens are becoming canvases for self-expression.
Yes. This is where things get really fun.
It seems like 2025 is all about bringing personality into those outdoor spaces.
Absolutely. Minimalism is still popular, but we're seeing a shift towards incorporating those bold pops of color.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Think vibrant planters, a splash of paint on your furniture, or even a cool mural on a wall.
I love those ideas.
It's all about reflecting your unique style.
So true. What kind of colors are we seeing? Any specific trends?
It really depends on personal preference, but those bold, saturated colors are definitely in pickup.
Oh, fun.
We're seeing a lot of jewel tones like emerald green, sapphire blue, ruby red.
Ooh, those sound gorgeous.
They add a touch of drama and vibrancy to a small space.
They would look amazing against a backdrop of lush greenery.
Exactly. What about DIY projects and upcycling? Those are still popular, right?
Oh, for sure. Those trends are here to stay.
People are getting so creative. Using old pallets for planters, turning vintage windows into garden art,
Love it.
repurposing furniture to add character.
It's a great way to personalize your space and be sustainable at the same time.
It's a win-win.
Speaking of maximizing space, our source highlights a trend that's perfect for anyone who loves organization.
Hit me with it.
Concealed and integrated storage.
Ah, yes. It's one thing to create a beautiful garden, but you got to be able to keep it organized.
Especially in a small space.
Every inch counts.
So how are designers tackling this challenge? What kind of clever storage solutions can we expect to see?
They're getting so creative with those built-in storage solutions.
Ooh, like what?
Think about those custom-built benches with hidden compartments underneath.
Oh, yeah. We were just talking about those.
Perfect for stashing away gardening tools or extra cushions.
Like secret storage right in your seating area.
Yeah, exactly. And then you have these multifunctional garden sheds that not only store larger equipment, but can also be used as potting benches or even little outdoor offices.
Wow, that's taking working from home to a whole new level.
Right. I saw one that had a fold-down desk and built-in shelves, perfect for working amidst the greenery.
That sounds amazing.
It really does. And for smaller items,
Yeah, like what?
like gardening gloves and stuff,
Right.
wall-mounted planters with hidden storage compartments are perfect.
Ooh, clever.
You get the greenery and the storage all in one.
It's incredible how they're finding ways to incorporate storage into every nook and cranny.
Seriously, it's all about maximizing space without sacrificing style or functionality.
Absolutely. And speaking of maximizing space, our source also emphasizes this importance of modular and flexible design in small gardens.
Oh, yeah, it's huge.
So what does that look like in practice?
Think modular seating arrangements that can be easily reconfigured,
Okay, I like where this is going.
like a set of ottomans that can be individual seats or pushed together to create a larger sofa.
Oh, that's so smart.
Right, and planters on wheels.
Oh, brilliant.
So you can move your plants around to follow the sun or change the layout.
It's like having a dynamic garden that evolves with your needs.
Exactly. And even things like umbrellas or pergolas, those shade structures,
Right.
they can be designed to be movable too.
Makes sense.
So you can create shade wherever you need it.
It seems like the key here is versatility,
Totally.
creating a space that can adapt.
And as we move further into this digital age, technology is playing a bigger and bigger role in garden design.
It's true. Everything is getting smarter these days.
And gardens are no exception. Our source specifically mentions the rise of smart home connectivity in gardens.
This is a trend I'm super fascinated by.
Me too.
It's like
Yeah.
technology is blurring the lines between our indoor and outdoor spaces.
Absolutely. It's all about creating this truly integrated experience.
I'm so here for it. So where do you think we're seeing the biggest impact of technology in small gardens?
That's a good question.
Is it lighting?
It could be, but for me, I think it's smart irrigation systems.
Ah, we were just talking about those.
They're revolutionizing how we water our gardens. It's all about conserving those precious water resources and making sure our plants thrive.
Such important goals.
They use sensors to keep track of the moisture levels in the soil and then adjust watering schedules based on that information.
So smart.
You never overwater or underwater your plants.
Amazing.
It's a total game changer.
So there are different types of smart irrigation systems out there. Tell me more. I'm so curious.
Yeah, there are a few.
Like what?
You've got drip irrigation systems. For one,
Yeah.
they deliver water super slowly and directly to those plant roots through a network of tubes.
I think very efficient.
Right. Then you have sprinkler systems, but these are the smart kind.
Okay.
They can be programmed to water only certain areas at certain times.
I like that. You can really customize it.
You can. And some of them even use weather data to adjust the watering based on upcoming rainfall.
Wow. That's incredible.
Right. No more wasting water if it's about to rain.
It's like having a personal gardener who's always on top of things.
Exactly.
And I love that you can control these systems from your phone, right?
You got it. Most of these systems come with apps, so you can monitor and control everything from anywhere.
That's so convenient. What about those solar-powered garden lights? They're a fantastic option too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
They're both beautiful and sustainable.
They really are. Harnessing the power of the sun to light up your garden at night.
It's magical. And they come in so many different styles now.
They do. You can find anything from pathway lights to string lights to spotlights.
I love that. You can create any kind of mood or look you want.
Exactly. And because they're solar powered, there's no need for wiring, which makes them super easy to install,
That's a big bonus.
especially if you're not super handy.
I've always loved those string lights in a garden. They just create such a warm, inviting ambiance.
Me too. Perfect for those summer evening gatherings.
Now, what about smart outdoor lighting? That's becoming a big trend too, right?
Oh, yeah. It's gaining popularity fast.
What makes it so special?
Well, you can control all your outdoor lights with your smartphone or even with voice commands.
Okay, that sounds amazing.
It is. You can set timers, dim the lights, and even change the color of the lights to create different moods.
That's so cool. Imagine transforming your garden's entire atmosphere with a tap on your phone.
It's pretty amazing.
So what other cool features do these smart outdoor lighting systems have?
Some of them integrate with other smart home devices like security cameras or motion sensors.
Wow,
So your lights could automatically turn on if someone walks onto your property at night.
that's a great safety feature. It could also be a deterrent for any unwanted visitors.
Exactly.
It seems like smart technology is really enhancing both the beauty and the security of our gardens.
Totally agree. And it's not just about convenience.
It's about making more responsible choices for the environment.
Exactly. By conserving resources and reducing energy consumption.
Well, I'm definitely sold on these smart garden trends.
Me too. It's so exciting to see how technology is being used to make our outdoor spaces more beautiful, functional, and sustainable.
Absolutely. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about some specific examples of small garden design trends that are really inspiring.
Okay, love it.
Our source highlights urban rooftop gardens as being incredibly popular, especially in those densely populated cities where green space is at a premium.
Rooftop gardens are amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing how designers are transforming these often overlooked spaces into these vibrant green havens high above the city streets.
It's like bringing a little slice of nature into the concrete jungle.
I love that. What are some of the key things to think about when designing a rooftop garden?
Well, weight is a big one.
Makes sense, you're up on a roof.
Exactly. You need to make sure that your roof can actually handle all that extra weight of the soil, the plants, the structures.
Right.
Container planting is a popular choice because it gives you flexibility and it's easier to manage the weight.
That's smart. What else?
You also got to think about drainage, wind, and sun exposure.
Ah, those are all important factors.
They are. Rooftop gardens definitely require a bit more planning than a traditional garden.
But the rewards sound worth it. Imagine having your own private sanctuary high above the city.
It's pretty incredible.
You can relax, grow your own food, enjoy those breathtaking views.
The dream.
Okay, so back to drainage.
Yes.
I imagine that's super crucial on a rooftop.
It is. You got to make sure that water can drain properly. Otherwise, it'll pool on the roof and cause damage.
Yikes. Nobody wants that.
Not at all. So using elevated planters and drainage mats are essential.
Good tips. What about wind? I imagine that can be pretty intense up on a rooftop.
Oh, it can be. Wind can be super strong up there, so it's important to choose plants that can handle it.
That makes sense.
You also might want to use things like windbreaks, trellises, or sturdy planters to protect your more delicate plants.
Good ideas.
Mhm.
And what about sun exposure? Rooftops can get pretty hot.
They can, especially in the summer. So you want to choose plants that can handle that full sun
Okay.
and make sure to provide some shade for the more sensitive ones.
It's all about choosing the right plants for the right spot.
Exactly.
Designing a rooftop garden sounds like it takes a lot of careful planning.
It does, but it's so rewarding.
The results could be spectacular. I've seen some truly amazing rooftop gardens.
They're so inspiring. It's like a testament to human ingenuity, finding ways to bring nature into even the most urban environments.
And they offer so many benefits.
They do, like reducing the urban heat island effect, improving air quality, and providing habitat for pollinators.
So important.
Yeah.
It seems like rooftop gardens are a fantastic way to make cities more livable and sustainable.
They are. It's a great example of how we can rethink our urban spaces and make them more connected to nature.
Okay, so speaking of blurring the lines between indoors and outdoors,
Yes, this is one of my favorites.
our source also talks about this trend of hybrid garden spaces.
Ah, yes. The best of both worlds.
So tell me, how are designers achieving this hybrid effect?
Well, large glass doors and windows are a key element.
I love those.
They create that visual connection between inside and out.
Right.
And then you've got elements like skylights and indoor-outdoor fireplaces.
Oh, those are fancy. I love that concept.
It's all about making the transition between the two spaces feel seamless.
It's like bringing the beauty of nature indoors.
Exactly. And as we move towards a more sustainable future, these hybrid spaces can play a crucial role in fostering that deeper connection with nature.
I completely agree.
It's about recognizing the impact that nature has on our well-being.
It's so true. Spending time in nature is good for the soul.
And these hybrid spaces allow us to do that even when we're inside.
Now, looking ahead, our source predicts a continued trend towards nature-inspired minimalism
Right.
with bold accents in small garden design.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I like that combination.
It's all about finding that balance between the serenity of minimalism and those pops of color and personality.
So what exactly does this look like in a garden?
Picture a neutral backdrop of natural materials.
Okay, like what?
Wood, stone, concrete,
I'm picturing it.
and then you add those vibrant planters, some colorful furniture, maybe some eye-catching garden art.
That sounds beautiful.
It is. It's modern, but still connected to nature.
And those bold accents allow for personal expression.
Absolutely. It's about showcasing your individual style while still embracing the beauty of the natural world.
Well said.
And as technology continues to evolve, we can expect to see even more innovative and exciting developments in small garden design.
I can't wait to see what they come up with next.
Me neither.
But at its core, it's all about creating spaces that foster a connection with nature,
Yes.
that promote well-being.
And that reflect our personal style and values.
It's about creating those little pockets of paradise,
Exactly.
no matter how small the space.
I love that.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground already, but there's one more trend we need to talk about,
All right, what is it?
and that's concealed and integrated storage.
Ah, yes. So important in any small space.
It's one of those things that can make or break a garden.
It really can, but luckily designers are coming up with some incredibly clever and stylish solutions.
I'm excited to hear more about those.
Me too.
Let's dive into those smart storage ideas after a quick.
It's amazing how much thought goes into maximizing every nook and cranny in these small gardens. Speaking of making the most of limited space, let's talk more about those concealed storage options. They're becoming incredibly stylish too, not just purely functional.
Yeah, I was looking at some pictures in our source material, and I'm blown away by how seamlessly storage can blend in. It's like a secret design element. What are some of the cleverest ideas you've seen?
One that stands out is using custom-built benches with hidden compartments underneath. They provide seating and a place to stash gardening tools, extra cushions, or even outdoor toys. It's like having a secret storage vault right in your seating area.
I love that idea. It's so practical, especially for smaller patios or balconies where space is at a premium. I bet those would be great for people who live in apartments and want to do some urban gardening. Any other cool storage ideas that come to mind?
Definitely. Multifunctional garden sheds are becoming increasingly popular. They not only store larger equipment like lawnmowers or bicycles, but can also double as potting benches or even cozy outdoor offices. I saw one that had a fold-down desk and built-in shelves, perfect for working from home while surrounded by nature.
Wow, that's taking working from home to a whole new level. I can just imagine myself riding in a garden shed surrounded by plants and sunshine. But what about storing smaller items, like gardening gloves or hand tools? Those benches and sheds might be a bit overkill.
You're right, those are more for larger items. For smaller things, wall-mounted planters with hidden storage compartments are a fantastic option. They add a touch of greenery while discreetly storing those essential gardening bits and pieces.
It sounds like designers are getting so creative with storage solutions. It's not just about tucking things away, it's about integrating storage seamlessly into the overall design of the garden.
Exactly, and that seamless integration extends to technology as well. We touched on smart home connectivity earlier, but I think it deserves a deeper dive, especially the impact it's having on small garden design.
Yeah, I am completely with you there. It's amazing how technology is blurring the lines between our indoor and outdoor living spaces, creating a truly integrated experience. Where do you think we're seeing the biggest impact of technology in small gardens?
For me, it's smart irrigation systems. These systems are revolutionizing the way we water our gardens, conserving precious water resources, and ensuring that our plants thrive. They use sensors to monitor soil moisture levels and adjust watering schedules accordingly so you never overwater or underwater your plants.
That's amazing. It seems it's such a responsible and efficient way to water your garden. Are there different types of smart irrigation systems available? I'm curious about how they actually work.
Absolutely. You have drip irrigation systems, which deliver water slowly and directly to the plant roots through a network of tubes. These are great for conserving water, especially in dry climates. Then there are sprinkler systems that can be programmed to water specific areas at specific times. Some systems even integrate weather data and adjust watering schedules based on rainfall predictions.
Wow, that's so sophisticated.
You
It's like having a personal gardener who's always on top of things. And I love that you can control it all from your smartphone.
Exactly. Many systems come with smartphone apps that allow you to monitor and control your irrigation system from anywhere. You can turn on the sprinklers, adjust watering times, and even receive alerts if there's a problem like a leak or a blocked sprinkler head.
That's incredible. It really takes the guesswork out of watering and makes it so much more convenient. And speaking of technology, solar-powered garden lights are a fantastic option for adding ambience and sustainability to your outdoor space.
Absolutely. Solar-powered lights harness the energy of the sun to illuminate your garden at night. They're energy efficient, cost-effective, and add a magical touch to your outdoor space.
And they come in so many different styles now. You can find everything from pathway lights to string lights to spotlights, so you can create the perfect lighting scheme for your garden.
You're right. There are so many options available, and because they're solar powered, you don't have to worry about running any wires, which makes them super easy to install.
I've always loved the look of string lights in a garden. It creates such a warm and inviting ambiance, perfect for evening gatherings. What about outdoor smart lighting? I've heard that's becoming a big trend as well.
Yes, outdoor smart lighting is definitely gaining popularity. These systems allow you to control your outdoor lights with your smartphone or even with voice commands. You can set timers, dim the lights, or even change the color of the lights to create different moods.
Wow, that sounds amazing. It's like having your own personal lighting designer for your garden.
Oh.
What are some other cool features of smart outdoor lighting systems?
Some systems can integrate with other smart home devices, like security cameras or motion sensors. So, for example, your lights could automatically turn on if someone approaches your property at night.
That's a great safety feature. And it could also deter burglars. It seems like smart technology is really enhancing both the beauty and functionality of our gardens.
It certainly is. And it's not just about convenience, it's about making more responsible choices for the environment by conserving resources and reducing energy consumption.
I completely agree. And speaking of creating a truly immersive experience in the garden, we have to talk about weatherproof speakers. Those seem like a must-have for any outdoor space, especially if you enjoy listening to music or podcasts while you garden or relax.
Absolutely. Weatherproof speakers are designed to withstand the elements so you can enjoy your favorite audio content outdoors without worrying about damaging your electronics.
I love the idea of listening to music or a podcast while I'm tending to my plants. It makes the whole experience so much more enjoyable.
It really does. And many weatherproof speakers now offer Bluetooth connectivity so you can easily stream music from your smartphone, tablet, or laptop.
That's so convenient. And it eliminates the need for wires, which could be a tripping hazard in a garden. I'm really impressed with all the ways technology is being integrated into garden design. It's making our outdoor spaces more functional, more beautiful, and more sustainable.
I agree. It's an exciting time for garden design, and I think we can expect even more innovative uses of technology in the years to come.
Now, let's shift gears a bit and talk about some specific examples of small garden design trends. Our source highlights urban rooftop gardens as being incredibly popular, especially in densely populated cities where green space is limited.
Rooftop gardens are fantastic. It's amazing how designers are transforming these often overlooked spaces into vibrant green oases high above the city streets.
I love that. It's like bringing a little bit of nature into the concrete jungle. What are some of the key considerations when designing a rooftop garden?
Well, weight is a major factor. You need to make sure your roof can handle the added load of soil, plants, and structures. Container planting is a popular choice, as it allows for flexibility and easier weight management. You also need to consider drainage, wind, and sun exposure.
That makes sense. It seems like designing a rooftop garden requires a bit more planning than a traditional garden.
It does, but the rewards are well worth the effort. Imagine having your own private sanctuary above the city where you can relax, grow your own food, and enjoy breathtaking views.
That sounds incredible. What about drainage? I imagine that's crucial on a rooftop.
Absolutely. You need to ensure proper drainage to prevent water from pooling on the roof and causing damage. Elevated planters and drainage mats are essential components of a well-designed rooftop garden.
And wind can be a challenge on a rooftop as well.
Yes, wind can be quite strong up there. That's why it's important to choose plants that are naturally wind resistant and to use windbreaks, trellises, or sturdy planters to protect more delicate plants.
And I imagine sun exposure is also something to consider.
Definitely. Rooftops can get very hot, especially in the summer. It's important to choose plants that can tolerate full sun and to provide some shade for more sensitive plants.
It sounds like designing a rooftop garden requires a lot of careful planning, but the results can be spectacular.
It's definitely worth the effort. Rooftop gardens are a fantastic way to bring nature into urban environments and create unique and inviting outdoor spaces.
And they offer so many benefits, from reducing the urban heat island effect to improving air quality and providing habitat for pollinators.
Exactly. And they're becoming increasingly accessible as more and more buildings are designed with rooftop gardens in mind.
That's great to hear. I think rooftop gardens are a fantastic way to make cities more livable and sustainable.
I agree. And they're a great example of how we can rethink and reimagine our urban spaces to make them more connected to nature.
Speaking of blurring the lines between indoors and outdoors, our source also discusses the trend of hybrid garden spaces.
These spaces are all about creating a seamless flow between your home and your garden, blurring the boundaries between inside and outside.
So how are designers achieving this hybrid effect?
Large glass doors and windows are key, as are elements like skylights and indoor-outdoor fireplaces.
I love how this concept blurs the boundaries between interior and exterior design.
It's all about creating a holistic living experience that seamlessly integrates with the natural world. And as we move towards a more sustainable future, these hybrid spaces can play a crucial role in fostering a deeper connection with nature.
They can also help to improve air quality, regulate temperature, and create a sense of calm and well-being within our homes.
Absolutely. And as we discussed earlier, biophilic design principles are being incorporated into both indoor and outdoor spaces, emphasizing natural elements and materials to create a more harmonious and nurturing environment.
It's all about recognizing the profound impact that nature has on our physical and mental well-being. Now, looking ahead, our source predicts a continued trend towards nature-inspired minimalism with bold accents and small garden design.
This is an exciting trend that combines the serenity of minimalism with strategic pops of color and personality.
So what exactly does it entail?
Imagine a neutral backdrop of natural materials, wood, stone, concrete punctuated by vibrant planters, colorful furniture, and eye-catching garden art.
It's about creating a balanced and harmonious space that feels both modern and connected to nature.
Exactly. And the use of bold accents allows for personal expression and creativity, making each garden truly unique.
It's about showcasing your individual style while still embracing the beauty of the natural world.
Precisely. And as technology continues to evolve, we can expect even more innovative and exciting developments in small garden design. But at its core, it's about creating spaces that foster a connection with nature, promote well-being, and reflect our personal style and values.
It's about creating those little pockets of paradise, no matter how small the space.
Exactly. And speaking of small spaces, remember those concealed and integrated storage options we talked about earlier? They tie in perfectly with another hot trend for 2025, multifunctional outdoor rooms.
Oh, that's right. We were just talking about micro patios and how important storage is in those tiny spaces. So are these multifunctional outdoor rooms kind of like souped-up micro patios?
In a way, yes, but they can encompass larger areas as well, like courtyards or even small backyards. The key is that these spaces are designed to serve multiple purposes, adapting to the needs of the homeowner throughout the day.
That sounds incredibly versatile. What are some examples of how these spaces might be used?
Well, imagine a courtyard that transforms from a peaceful yoga studio in the morning to a lively outdoor dining area in the evening, or a small backyard that doubles as a play area for kids during the day and a cozy outdoor cinema at night.
Those sound amazing. It's like having multiple rooms in one outdoor space.
Exactly. And with clever design and the right furniture, it's easy to create these transitions. Think about modular seating arrangements that can be reconfigured, foldable tables, and even retractable awnings that can provide shade during the day or create a more enclosed feeling at night.
It's all about making the most of your outdoor space and creating a dynamic environment that can adapt to your changing needs.
Precisely. And this concept of multifunctional outdoor rooms ties in nicely with the trend of biophilic design, which we talked about earlier.
Oh, that's right. Biophilic design is all about incorporating natural elements into our built environments to create spaces that are more connected to nature.
Exactly. And by creating outdoor rooms that are both functional and beautiful, we're essentially extending our living spaces into the natural world, which can have a positive impact on our well-being.
I love that idea. It's like bringing the outdoors in and the indoors out, creating a harmonious blend of nature and design. And it seems like technology is playing a role in these multifunctional spaces as well.
Mhm.
We talked about smart lighting and weatherproof speakers, but are there other ways technology is being integrated into these outdoor rooms?
Definitely. We're seeing more and more outdoor kitchens and entertainment areas that are equipped with all the latest technology, from built-in grills and refrigerators to weatherproof TVs and sound systems.
Wow, that's amazing. It's like having a fully functional living room right in your backyard.
Exactly. And with the right design, you can create an outdoor space that's just as comfortable and inviting as your indoor living spaces.
So it seems like the key to creating a successful multifunctional outdoor room is to think about how you want to use the space and then choose the right furniture, technology, and design elements to support those functions.
That's right. And don't be afraid to get creative. There's so many possibilities when it comes to designing these spaces, so have fun with it and create a space that reflects your unique style and needs.
Now, our source also mentions the growing popularity of edible landscaping, which we touched on earlier. It's fascinating how people are finding ways to incorporate food-producing plants into their gardens, no matter how small the space.
It's a wonderful trend. Edible landscaping is all about blurring the lines between ornamental and edible gardens, so you can enjoy the beauty of your garden while also harvesting fresh, homegrown produce.
And it seems like there's so many creative ways to do it, from raised beds and containers to vertical gardens and espaliered fruit trees.
Absolutely. You can even incorporate edible plants into your existing landscaping by planting herbs among your flowers or growing vegetables in decorative pots.
I love that idea. It's like sneaking in some healthy snacks right into your flower beds.
Exactly. And it's a great way to get kids interested in gardening and healthy eating.
And speaking of kids, play areas are another important consideration when designing a multifunctional outdoor space, especially for families.
Absolutely. Play areas can be seamlessly integrated into the overall design of the garden, creating a space that's both fun and functional.
What are some ideas for creating a play area that blends in with the rest of the garden?
Natural materials like wood and stone are great for creating play structures that blend in with the landscape. You can also use plants to create natural boundaries or hiding places, adding an element of adventure to the play area.
I love that idea. It's like creating a magical little world right in your backyard.
Exactly. And by incorporating play areas into our gardens, we're encouraging kids to spend more time outdoors, which is so important for their physical and mental health.
I completely agree.
Right.
And it's a great way to create lasting memories as a family.
Now, let's not forget about the importance of creating a sense of privacy in our outdoor spaces, especially if we're using them for multiple purposes throughout the day.
That's a great point. Privacy is essential, especially if you're living in a densely populated area or if you want to create a more secluded and intimate feel in your garden.
Exactly. And there are so many creative ways to create privacy in a small garden. We've already talked about vertical gardens, which can act as natural privacy screens.
Yes, and I love how they add greenery and visual interest to the space while also providing privacy.
Absolutely. And you can also use trellises or pergolas covered in climbing plants to create shaded areas that feel more private.
Those are great ideas. And I bet strategically placed shrubs and trees can also help to create a sense of enclosure.
You're right. Evergreen shrubs and trees can provide year-round privacy, while deciduous trees offer shade in the summer and let in more light in the winter.
It's all about choosing the right plants for your climate and your needs. What about using fences or walls to create privacy?
Fences and walls can be very effective, but it's important to choose materials and designs that complement the overall style of your garden. You can soften the look of a fence by planting vines or espaliered trees along it, or you can add visual interest to a wall by painting it a bright color or using it as a backdrop for a vertical garden.
Those are great tips. It seems like there are so many ways to create privacy in a small garden without sacrificing style or functionality.
Absolutely. And it's all about finding what works best for your space and your personal preferences.
Now let's talk a little bit about aesthetics and design trends in small gardens. Our source mentions the growing popularity of minimalist gardens, which embrace simplicity and clean lines.
Minimalist gardens are a great choice for small spaces, as they can make the area feel larger and more open.
So what are some of the key elements of a minimalist garden?
A limited color palette is essential, often sticking to neutral tones like white, gray, and black. The focus is on form and texture rather than a profusion of colors. The use of natural materials like wood, stone, and concrete is also common in minimalist gardens.
It sounds very serene and calming.
It is. Minimalist gardens are all about creating a sense of peace and tranquility, which can be especially appealing in a busy urban environment.
But minimalist gardens don't have to be boring, right?
Absolutely not. You can add visual interest with strategically placed accents like a single brightly colored pot or a sculptural piece of driftwood.
And I bet incorporating water features or fire pits can also add a touch of drama to a minimalist garden.
You're right. Those elements can create focal points and add a sense of movement and energy to the space.
It sounds like the key to minimalist garden design is to embrace simplicity without sacrificing style or interest.
Exactly. It's about creating a space that feels both calming and inspiring.
Now, our source also mentions the trend of incorporating bold accents into small gardens, even within a minimalist design scheme.
Yes, pops of color can add personality and vibrancy to a small garden, even if the overall design is minimalist.
So, what are some ways to incorporate bold accents effectively?
Brightly colored planters, cushions, or outdoor rugs can instantly add a pop of color to a neutral space. You can also use colorful garden art, like sculptures or wind chimes, to create focal points and add visual interest.
And I bet painting a fence or a wall a bold color can make a big impact in a small garden.
Absolutely. A splash of color can instantly transform a space and create a more dynamic feel.
It sounds like the key to using bold accents effectively is to choose colors that complement the overall design of your garden and to use them sparingly so they don't overwhelm the space.
Exactly. It's about creating a balanced and harmonious look that reflects your personal style.
Now, let's talk about the importance of personalization in small garden design. Our source emphasizes that the most successful small gardens are those that reflect the unique style and personality of the homeowner.
Absolutely. A garden should be an extension of your home and a reflection of your personal taste.
So, what are some ways to personalize your small garden?
Well, we've already talked about incorporating bold accents and using DIY projects and upcycled materials, which are great ways to add personal touches. You can also personalize your garden by choosing plants that have special meaning to you, like flowers that remind you of your childhood or herbs that you love to cook with.
I love that idea. It's like creating a living memory book in your garden.
Exactly. And you can also personalize your garden with decorative elements that reflect your interests or hobbies.
Like what?
Well, if you love to read, you could create a cozy reading nook in your garden. Or if you're an artist, you could display your sculptures or paintings outdoors.
Those are great ideas. It's all about making your garden a reflection of who you are and what you love.
Precisely. And the more personal touches you add, the more you'll enjoy spending time in your garden.
Now, as we wrap up our discussion of small garden design trends, I'm curious to know what you think are the most exciting developments and what we can expect to see in the future.
It's hard to choose just a few, but I'm particularly excited about the increasing focus on sustainability and the integration of technology.
Me too. Those trends are really transforming the way we garden.
I think we'll see even more innovative uses of technology in the future, like smart sensors that can monitor plant health and alert you to potential problems, or robots that can help with weeding and other gardening tasks.
Wow, that sounds futuristic. It seems like the possibilities are endless when it comes to incorporating technology into our gardens.
They are, and I think we'll also see a continued emphasis on sustainable practices like water conservation, composting, and using native plants.
And hopefully we'll see more and more people embracing the idea of edible landscaping and growing their own food, no matter how small their outdoor space.
I agree. I think there's a growing awareness of the importance of connecting with nature and taking care of our environment, and our gardens can play a key role in that.
Absolutely. And I think small gardens are especially important in urban environments where green space is often limited.
They are. Small gardens can provide a much needed connection to nature, improve air quality, and create a sense of peace and tranquility in the midst of a busy city.
Now, before we move on to our final trend, which is all about concealed storage and organization, I want to touch on one more inspiring example of small garden design: courtyard gardens.
Courtyard gardens are fantastic. They offer a sense of enclosure and privacy, creating a secluded oasis right in the heart of your home.
I love the idea of having a private outdoor retreat where you can relax and escape the hustle and bustle of daily life.
Exactly. And courtyard gardens can be designed in a variety of styles, from traditional to modern to minimalist.
So what are some of the key design elements of a courtyard garden?
Well, the courtyard itself creates the boundaries of the garden, so it's important to choose materials and colors that complement the style of your home. You can use paving stones, gravel, or even decking to create the floor of the courtyard. And you can add visual interest with walls, trellises, or even water features.
I love the idea of using a water feature to create a sense of tranquility and add a soothing sound to the space.
Water features are fantastic in courtyard gardens. They can be as simple as a small fountain or as elaborate as a pond with waterfalls, and they attract birds and other wildlife, which can add to the sense of nature in the space.
And I bet lighting is also important in a courtyard garden, especially if you want to enjoy the space in the evening.
Absolutely. You can use a combination of ambient lighting, task lighting, and accent lighting to create a warm and inviting atmosphere. String lights are always a popular choice for courtyard gardens, and they can add a touch of magic to the space.
It sounds like courtyard gardens are a wonderful way to create a private and peaceful outdoor retreat, no matter how small your space.
They are, and they're a great example of how we can maximize even the smallest outdoor areas to create beautiful and functional spaces that enhance our lives.
Now let's talk about that final trend we mentioned earlier: concealed and integrated storage. It's something that's essential in any small garden, but especially in multifunctional spaces where you need to be able to store away items when they're not in use.
You're right. Storage is crucial in a small garden, and designers are getting incredibly creative with storage solutions that are both functional and stylish.
So let's dive into those clever storage ideas after a quick. Okay, so let's dive back into those ingenious storage solutions for small gardens. It's amazing how designers are blending practicality with style, making storage almost disappear. What are some of your favorite examples of concealed storage?
Oh, those custom-built benches with hidden compartments underneath always get me. You'd never suspect they have all that extra space. They're perfect for stashing away those gardening tools, extra cushions, you name it.
I love that idea. So practical, especially for smaller patios or balconies. Any other cool storage ideas that come to mind?
Definitely. Multifunctional garden sheds are having a major moment. They've come a long way from just storing tools. Now you can find them doubling as potting benches or even cozy outdoor offices.
Ooh, I love that. What a great way to maximize space and enjoy being surrounded by nature.
Right. I saw one with a fold-down desk and shelves built right in, perfect for those who work from home and want to soak up some sunshine.
That's my dream. Working amidst the greenery sounds so inspiring. But what about those smaller gardening essentials, like gloves or hand tools? The benches and sheds might be a bit too big for that, right?
You're right, those are more for larger items. But for those smaller things, wall-mounted planters with hidden storage compartments are a fantastic option.
Those are so clever. So you get greenery A&D storage all in one.
Exactly. It's all about maximizing space without sacrificing style.
It really is incredible how every little nook and cranny can be used for storage these days.
It's true, and it's not just about tucking things away, it's about integrating storage seamlessly into the overall design of the garden.
Absolutely. And that theme of seamless integration extends to technology as well.
Mm.
We touched on smart home connectivity earlier, but I think it's worth diving into a little deeper. It's having a huge impact on small garden design.
You're absolutely right. Technology is really blurring the lines between indoor and outdoor living spaces, creating a truly integrated experience.
It's like an extension of our homes, but in nature.
Yeah.
Where do you think we're seeing the biggest impact of technology in small gardens?
That's a good question. For me, it's got to be smart irrigation systems. They're revolutionizing the way we water our gardens, and that has huge implications for both water conservation and plant health.
That makes a lot of sense. So how do they work?
These systems use sensors to monitor soil moisture levels and adjust watering schedules accordingly, so you never overwater or underwater your plants.
Wow, that's so smart. It seems like such a responsible and efficient way to water your garden. Are there different types of smart irrigation systems?
Definitely. You have drip irrigation, which delivers water slowly and directly to the roots,
Hmm.
super water-wise. And then there are sprinkler systems, but the smart kind that can be programmed to water specific areas at specific times.
Wow, that's getting pretty sophisticated.
Some systems even use weather data to adjust watering based on rainfall predictions.
Okay, that's next level. It's like having a personal gardener who knows exactly what your plants need. And I love that you can control everything from your phone, right?
Exactly. Most of these systems come with apps, so you can monitor and control your irrigation from anywhere.
So convenient. No more rushing home to water the plants. Okay, we've talked about irrigation, but we can't forget about lighting. Those solar-powered garden lights are a fantastic option too, right?
Absolutely. They harness the power of the sun, which reduces your reliance on electricity. And they come in so many different styles now, so you can truly customize the look and feel of your garden.
I've always loved string lights. They create such a magical atmosphere, perfect for evening gatherings.
Me too. And since they're solar powered, you don't have to worry about running any wires, which makes installation a breeze.
That's a huge bonus.
Yeah.
And what about smart outdoor lighting? That seems to be gaining popularity as well.
Oh, definitely. With smart outdoor lighting, you can control your lights with your smartphone or even voice commands. Imagine setting timers, dimming the lights, even changing colors to create different moods.
Wow, that sounds like a game changer. What other cool features do these smart lighting systems have?
Well, some systems integrate with other smart home devices like security cameras or motion sensors, so your lights could automatically turn on if someone approaches your property at night.
That's a great safety feature and could help deter any unwanted visitors. It seems like smart technology is not only enhancing the beauty of our gardens, but also making them more secure.
I agree. And again, it's not just about convenience, it's about making our gardens more functional and sustainable as well.
Well, we've covered so much ground today, from space-saving strategies and sustainable materials to smart technology and personalized design. It's so clear that even small gardens have incredible potential.
Absolutely. I'm so inspired by the creativity and innovation we're seeing in small garden design.
Me too. And I think the biggest takeaway for me is that anyone can transform their small outdoor space into a beautiful and functional oasis, no matter how limited their space might be.
I couldn't agree more. It's all about thinking outside the box and embracing those limitations as opportunities for creativity.
That's a perfect note to end on. It's been such a fascinating deep dive into the world of small garden design trends for 2025. I hope our listeners are feeling as inspired as I am to get out there and create their own little pockets of paradise. Thanks for joining us.